A reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9, verse number 4. The Lord incarnates as Mohini Murti. Text number 4. Navayam Tvamarayatyai Siddhagandhavacharanai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Loke Shashakotadihi Navayam Tvamarayatyai Siddhagandhavacharanai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Loke Shashakotadihi Navayam Tvamarayatyai Siddhagandhavacharanai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Loke Shashakotadihi. Chant. Ravayam Tvamarayatyai Siddhagandhavacharanai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Loke Shashakotadihi. Tvamarayatyai Siddhagandhavacharanai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Loke Shashakotadihi. Ladies? Navayam Tvamarayatyai Nashpishtapurvam Janima Shashakotadihi. Shashakotadihi. Na, it is not. Vayam, we. Twa, unto you. Amarai, by the demigods. Datyai, by the demons. Siddha, by the siddhas. Gandhara, by the Gandharvas. Charanai, and by the Charanas. Na, not. Ashpishtapurvam, never enjoyed or touched by anyone. Janimaha, know exactly. Loka Ishahai, by the various directors of the universe. Cha, also. Kuta, what to speak of. Nripi, by human society. Translation. What to speak of human beings, even the demigods, demons, siddhas, gandharvas, charanas, and the various directors of the universe, the Prajapatis, have never touched you before. It is not that we are unable to understand your identity. Purport. Even the Asuras observe the etiquette that no one should address a married woman with lust. The great analyst Chanakya Pandit says, Mattivat Paradareshu. One should consider another's wife to be one's mother. The Asuras demons took it for granted that the beautiful young woman Mohini Murti, who had arrived before them, was certainly not married. Therefore, they assumed that no one in the world, including the demigods, Gandharvas, Charnas, and Siddhas, had ever touched her. The demons knew that the young girl was unmarried, and therefore they dared to address her. They supposed that the young girl, Mohini Murti, had come there to find a husband among all those present, like the demigods, Gandharvas, and so on. Mukam karati vacharam bangam langa tekirimya itam taham vande shri gurun dinatavinam Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshiminitam Yena Tasamai Shikadave Namaha. So I was just reading this verse where it says the demons are speaking. It is not that we are unable to understand your identity, which means we know who you are. They're seeing through the eyes of lust. You see the world as through your own lens. So they have the lens of lust, and so they're seeing, oh yeah, it's for us to enjoy. You are for us. They don't understand actually. Even when Krishna came here, people didn't understand who he was. Yes. Avajananti Mamudha. The Mudhas, they can't understand Krishna. So these Daityas are definitely acting like Mudhas. But very interesting that they assumed that she wasn't married. Now they're even better. Okay, we have a translation here. Okay, we have, or who, okay. Translators, get ready. So yeah, and now the present day demons, they don't care if you're married or not. But the real demons of the universe, they follow some etiquette actually. It's quite interesting. When I read that, I thought, that's interesting. Now, who cares? It doesn't matter, married, unmarried, widow, who cares? Yeah, so we can enjoy you. And that is happening. That's happening right now in this material world, in modern day society. Now, they didn't get it. They couldn't see her as the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Just like the deities, people come, they may not see, they may not understand who is standing before them. This is Supreme Lord Krishna. He's here, and he's come with Radharani, but they don't get it. So it's happening, still happening. Krishna's here, and people don't get it. They don't understand he's here. The holy name also, they don't understand. This is Krishna. So devotees who have experience in spiritual life, they get it. They say, yeah, there's Krishna. I'll pray to him. I'll talk to him. I'll bathe him. I'll dress him. I'll feed him. He is here. And so it's very interesting. The head pujari in Mayapur, Jananivas, was once asked the question, what are the deities made of? So Jananivas answered, what is your heart made of? That is what the deities are made of. So if you see them as marble, stone, it's your heart is stone, it's marble, it's brass. Your heart is made of stone or metal, if you don't see. And so the demons, they didn't see. Even the demigods were bewildered too, as Bhagavatam says. I think later on it says the demigods also didn't understand. They were enchanted as well. They didn't understand. But in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, when Lord Chaitanya became a woman, and there was a drama, and Lord Chaitanya became a woman, the most enchanting energy, also Yogamaya, also Mahamaya, he became all of them. He became Lakshmi, he became Radharani, he became Rukmini. And so there was a drama. And before the drama, Lord Chaitanya said, now, if you can't control your mind, then you can't watch this drama. And so Advaita Acharya said, okay, I can't watch it. But then Lord Chaitanya said, okay, I protect you. I give you the benediction. You won't be enchanted, not enchanted, but you won't be agitated. Won't be agitated materially. So then he was, Lord Chaitanya was like a woman, and even his own mother didn't recognize him. Yashoda, not Yashoda, it's Sachi Devi. She didn't recognize. She said, "Wow, that is Lakshmi. Oh, that is Radharani. Oh, that is Durga." He took all the incarnations from Radharani, and he showed those incarnations. And nobody really. And so even the demigods are bewildered here, as it says in the beginning of Bhagavatam, Muyanti Yat Surya. They also get bewildered. We see in Krishna Lila, Indra got bewildered, Brahma got bewildered. Anybody else got bewildered? I don't remember. No, Indra and Brahma for sure. So yes, they get bewildered by Krishna. And here, and even Lord Shiva, later on in 8th canto, he will get bewildered by Mohini as well, and leave his wife for Mohini and run all over the universe. And so yeah, Lord Shiva got bewildered also by Mohini. So she's bewildering everyone. But there are still, although the demigods might have gotten bewildered, they were favored by Mohini. So why are the demigods favored by the Lord? There is a verse in the beginning, 7th canto, chapter 1, I think it's verse 12, where it says that time favors those in the mode of goodness. So if you're in the mode of goodness, you will get the favor of time. Time will be on your side. You will have time. In the material world, time is running out for everyone. They don't, and they waste their time. They don't get it. So, so we know who is going to get the nectar. We already know. The ones in the mode of goodness, the demigods are going to get it because they're favored by the Lord. And that's why the Lord came as Mohini to favor his devotees. And so, yeah, the demons, they had the nectar in their hand. They had it. They got the nectar. But they gave it away in exchange for a beautiful face, beautiful body. Yeah, okay, yeah, take, yeah. we trust you. We trust you with the nectar, Mohini Murti. And they wanted to enjoy her, actually. So they okay, yeah, you can have the nectar, and afterwards we'll get it, and you too. So no, this is what's going on. Like Ravana, he wanted to enjoy Sita. So everyone wants to enjoy the opulences of Krishna, and even they want to enjoy Krishna. So they didn't deserve the nectar. Only the devotees, the demigods, deserve the nectar. So why is it? They were surrendered. They were surrendered to Krishna, and that's why they got the nectar. So why is it good to be surrendered? Well, you get Krishna's protection when you surrender to Krishna. Just like Gita says, Tarva Dharmam Pritaja Mamekam Sharanam Vrija. Surrender to me. I will give you all protection. So what are the symptoms of surrender? We have a verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam akshishti vishvasa gauti te varnam tata atmanikshapa karpanye saviha sharanagati. The 6 divisions of surrender are acceptance of things favorable to devotional service, rejection of things unfavorable, the conviction, Krishna will give me protection, accepting Krishna is my master. He will maintain me. Previously in the Varnashram system, the workers, the Shudras, were maintained by the upper classes, by the Kshatriyas and by the Vaishyas. They maintained, the Shudras didn't get money. They got everything though. They got clothes, they got jewelry, they got food. They didn't need money. They got everything. Only no alcohol, illicit sex, gambling, no intoxication. Oh, illicit sex might have been there with the Shudras. No, they're supposed to get married. If they're good Shudras, they get married, and if they're not, then they're not. And so, yeah, and so Krishna will give maintenance and full self-surrender and humility. These are the 6 types of surrender, Sharanagati. So in the purport of Srimad-Bhagavatam, in the 18th chapter, verse 66, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada gives an explanation of each of these items, symptoms of surrender, that if you execute, you might be perfect in Varnashram, but if you don't come to the point of Krishna consciousness, it's all useless. So you have to accept, Varnashram is not necessarily going to liberate you unless you become Krishna conscious. You have to have Krishna there. You have to worship Krishna while you follow the Varnashram. And anything that doesn't lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. So that's the second item of surrender. The third item, confident that Krishna will protect you from all difficulties, that confidence. Number 4 is maintenance. Prabhupada said, there's no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Don't worry about it. If you're a devotee, Krishna will see to that. And then number 5, always think himself helpless, 5 and 6, and consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. So that was Prabhupada's explanation. So we're going to talk about protection, because that is what's happening here. The demigods are under the protection of Mohini Murti. So they're going to get the nectar. Yes, so also, we have to, he said devotees should feel that they are protected. Yes, we should be confident Krishna will protect us. He talks about that in Gita in the 16th chapter, verses 1 to 3, that the first qualification of a sannyasi is fearlessness, because he has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support. He has to depend on the mercy of Krishna. So it's not only the sannyasis in Kali Yuga, everyone is like that. Even the ladies, they have to be confident that Krishna is going to protect me and support me. Yes, yes, I'll never be alone. So loneliness can come there, especially in old age. The ladies, and they have no support, and they have no, unless they surrender to Krishna, there's no support. It's like a sannyasi. You live alone. You may have no support, so you have to depend on Krishna. And so Ravana, he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, praying to Lord Shiva, please protect me, save me. But Shiva didn't come. And Parvati said, hey, he's such a great devotee of you. He served you so much. Now he's in danger and asking your help. Why aren't you going to help him? And Shiva said, Parvati, what can I do? I can't give him protection because Lord Ram is there. If God wants to kill someone, no one can save him. If God wants to save someone, no one can kill him. That just reminds me of a story about one person from Ukraine. And this was not in this war, in the previous one, I think 2014. There was fighting in Donetsk or something. And he was running, and the soldiers shot him. But nothing, he still could walk and everything. And they were so amazed. They asked, where are you going? He says, I just want to go across the border because my friends are across the border. I can't remember which country it was he was going. And they said, they were so amazed by him. They said, we shot you and you're not dying. And so he said, yeah, I want to go across. They said, okay, you can sit in our police car. We're going to go across the border. And if nobody stops you at the border, it doesn't say anything, you can go free. So he got in the police car and they went to the border and they didn't see him. They didn't say anything. And he went across and they let him free. So that's, Krishna protected that devotee. So yes, as a devotee, Maharaj Ambarish also, he was given protection, actually. And we all need protection, even the men need protection too. But because Arjuna, after Krishna left, he lost all his power. He lost, I'm the same Arjuna, same bow and arrow, same chariot, but I was defeated. And so then he remembered, oh yeah, Krishna told me, don't be disturbed by victory or defeat, Bhagavad Gita. He said, no, I should just, I'm a spiritual being, I'm a soul, I don't die. And then he remembered all his instructions, and then he could go on with his life. So Krishna is giving us protection, but not as much as he wants to give us. He wants to give us more, but we're kind of holding on. No, I can manage. I have my bank balance. I have my whatever, this, that, house. But Prabhupada gives a translation: give up your own manufactured, concocted means of protection and surrender to me. The new translation for 1866. So we might wonder, because some of us might be new devotees, when does the protection begin? When does it begin? Prabhupada answers that question in his purport of, let's see, I have the verses, in 9th Canto, Chapter 4. Let me see if I have the verse. No, I don't. Okay, well, you can look it up somewhere in there. Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter, I have it, 48. There we go. 9:4:48. I do have the verse. So Prabhupada said, a devotee is never fearful of his death because he's thinking of Krishna in his heart. He's not worried. This Durvasa sent a huge demon, fiery demon, to burn Maharaj Ambrish. He was just standing there, yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever you want, Lord. You can kill me, you can maintain me, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his prayers. So Prabhupada says that even before the demon came, the Lord already arranged his protection with the Sudarshan Chakra. And here's what Prabhupada says in the purport: this protection is offered to devotee even from the very beginning of his devotional service. Protection begins immediately, and then he quotes Sarvadharma Prita. See, immediately, you just surrender, I'll protect you. Well, there you go. So what about maintenance? Prabhupada says, well, there's no need thinking how to keep the body and soul together. And there is, we just talked about Shukadev's prayers for empowerment. So in one of those verses, he's glorifying Lakshmi. And Prabhupada said that, yes, if you do Harinam Sankirtan, everything will come. That's all you have to do. And that's what we experienced in the early days, because we had nothing. And all we did was Harinam, sell a few back to Godheads, and that was it. And we had to pay the rent, we had to eat. So that's all. Immediately you get protection. So how is it, what about maintenance? Yes, that was maintenance. So in Chaitanya Leela, the Srivas Thakur, he had a huge family, 4 brothers, kids, many kids. And Lord Chaitanya said, I see you don't go out anywhere. How will you make ends meet in your family? And Shiva said, certainly, whatever's my destiny will come as provisions. Everyone gets his due. He'll surely find whatever providence provides. We'll manage with whatever comes our way. Now that was his. So then Lord Chaitanya, with that mentality, Shiva takes sannyas. And Shiva said, no, that's not possible for me. The Lord Chaitanya said, on the one hand, you refuse to beg as a sannyas. On the other hand, you don't make an effort to maintain yourself. You don't even go door to door. That Vanaprasthas can do that. Of course, he's not even a Vanaprastha. He's a Grihast. So how will you maintain your family? I can't understand. If you don't go out and work, you won't maintain your family. Please tell me what you propose to do. So Shiva said, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What do you mean 1, 2, 3? Yes. Shiva said, I have taken a solemn vow that if after fasting for 3 days I don't get any food, then I'll surely tie a stone around my neck and throw myself in the Ganges to drown. The Lord Chaitanya, when he heard that, he said, you know, even if Lakshmi has to go begging door to door, you will never have poverty. You will always have food. He says, don't you remember what I said in Gita 9:22? That is, that I will carry what you lack and preserve what you have. So yes, Krishna will do that. He will take care of us. And he also, Prahlad Chaitanya said, those devotees who are fixed in meditation on me don't have to beg for anything from anyone. All the mystic potencies automatically manifest. And the 4 personified Vedic goals, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which means religiosity and money, wealth, and enjoyment and liberation, they come automatically to the devotee. He doesn't have to ask. And he said, and Lord Chaitanya said, even if one remembers my devotee, then he will get protected. I will be responsible for maintaining him. So remember Srila Prabhupada, and he'll take care of you also. If you have any doubts about Krishna, just go to Prabhupada, because the devotee is more merciful than Krishna. And if the devotee says something, then yes, Krishna has to give it. So I'll give an example for one man I knew in Bombay, life member, and he was actually taking care of us. In Bombay, when we arrived, we were living on the land. We didn't have a house. The men had a hut. The ladies ashram was on the roof of the building. We were on the roof. We didn't have, and it was summer. And I don't know what, I left before monsoon. I don't know what they did in monsoon. But yeah, that was that was where we were living. So we didn't have a place to stay. So this life member started building rooms for Prabhupada's disciples on top of there were some buildings on the land where tenants were living. In India, the law is you cannot remove a tenant unless you pay him the price of the room where he's staying, the price of the property. So you have to pay the price of the whole house if he's staying in your house. If he stays more than 1 year, that's the rule, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, they would have had to pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of rupees to get them out. So he started building rooms for us on the roof of the apartments in the back. And then Prabhupada was there, and Prabhupada called him up. And Prabhupada said, and the man was covered with concrete and dust. He was the contractor for the building. He had to watch everything. So he came to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said to him, just as you are building rooms for my disciples, Krishna is building room for you in Goloka Vrindavan. And so there you go. Yeah, Krishna maintains. And so this man left his body. We know where he went. But before that, the man said, but Prabhupada, I'm so sinful, how can I go? Because he was still drinking tea and he didn't get initiated. And Prabhupada said, that I will see, you go. And so we know he went there. And Krishna will maintain you if you serve the devotees. If you even think of a devotee, and Krishna will maintain you. So he said, Shivas, you just stay happily in your house and everything will automatically come to you. So I'm also blessing you that your transcendental body will never be affected by old age and debility. So even our ISKCON movement, there are examples of how people get maintained by surrendering to Srila Prabhupada. There was my one godbrother, Haridas, from Juhu, Bombay. Actually, he was a street boy, and he was in jail, and he got back to Godhead in jail, And there was a picture of Srila Prabhupada with a very expensive watch. He said, I must have that watch. So after he got out of jail, he joined the temple. He said, I need to meet your guru, really. So Prabhupada was traveling, and he was following Prabhupada around. But when he finally met Prabhupada, he looked at Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, you want this watch? No, Swamiji, no, I just want to serve you. So like Dhruva Maharaj, he surrendered. And then, and that was in 1972 or 3, something like that. And at that time, all the Indians wanted to go to America. So first thing Prabhupada said, I'm sending you to America. Can you believe it? So, but he wasn't going. After a while, Prabhupada said, what happened? Why aren't you going? And so he said, my passport, I can't get my passport. In India, to get a passport, you have to put down your father's name. So I don't know who is my father, so I can't get my passport. So Prabhupada said, show me that passport. And he took it and he signed A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami for his father. So, and this he did go to America. He became very rich. He had 2 apartments in Bombay, which is a very expensive place. Millions of rupees you have to pay. He had 2. And he was in a Bollywood movie. And he also was a director of the television ISKCON TV in India. Yeah, so he got everything. Got much more. He didn't even ask for it, but he got it. So that was Prabhupada. He took care of us, and so if we surrender, we will get it. As in Gita, Krishna says, "Mashucha," Prabhupada. This means do not worry, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry. Prabhupada translated. Don't hesitate, don't fear, don't worry. Just surrender. So he's asking us to surrender, and people may say, why should I give surrender to Krishna? I have so many things I need to do. And Maya says, don't do it. You'll be out of my clutches. Yeah. So stay with me and I'll kick you. Yes. So then, yes, we cannot avoid the principle of surrender. We have to surrender to somebody. Yes, and Srila Prabhupada said, no, they will have a dog. Why should I serve Krishna? Let me serve the dog. And there's very interesting, when I was in Innisfree, Ireland, one lady came for prasadam, she said, she told us a story, which you can actually find it on internet, on some site, where the lady said, oh, I brought home a dog, but my husband is allergic, so I'm feeling so bad. I have to rehome him. I have to find a home for this. And he said he's 48 years old. He's an engineer, and he's very funny. My husband needs a home now. I'll keep the dog. So, and she was given a description of the husband. I have to rehome him. So that's Kali Yuga today. This is happening. And that lady also said, yeah, I divorced my husband, but I kept the dog. And so this is our modern day society. Yes, this is happening. So you have to serve someone in this world. If it's not the dog, then you have to serve your wife, your children. So there's a story about Akbar, who lived 500 years ago. He had one minister, chief minister, in his court, and his name was Birbal. And one day, Birbal was late to the king's court where he was supposed to sit. So the king said, why are you late? He said, my wife told me I have to do something. I had to do it before I came. So then the emperor said, you listen to your wife? Birbal said, yeah, everyone listens to their wife. So then the king said, prove it. So then he called all the men of the city in front of the palace. And they were up on the balcony. Jai Radhamada Mohan. And so Birbal said to the men of the village that whoever listens to their wife, go to this side over here. There was a stampede. Everyone except one man went to that side. And Deborah said, "You're very courageous. Don't listen to your wife." He said, "Why didn't you move to that side?" And he said, "My wife told me to avoid crowds." So he was also listening. You have to serve someone because that's our nature. Our nature is to serve. And so you can't avoid it. And we can't avoid it. So it's good to serve Krishna and we'll get everything. So why we have to surrender? Prabhupada, this verse in Bhagavatam, abandon all varieties of religion, surrender to me, he translated it in different ways, according to time, place, and circumstance. One time he said, "You rascal, give up all your nonsense, surrender to me." And that, when he first came to America, he said to us, to the hippies, "Well, you don't have to worry about giving up varieties of religion. You've already done that. Just surrender to Krishna. You already gave up all religion." All the four regular principles breaking. That's you did that part already. Just surrender to me. And so then after that, Prabhupada said, "My dear sons, why are you rotting in this miserable world? Come to me, I'll give you all protection. You're my son. You can enjoy life very, very magnificently without any death. Why are you rotting?" So these are different translations of that same verse. So what benefit will we get if we surrender to Krishna? The first thing, one thing that Krishna does, he can change our destiny. We may have to die according to our chart. Oh, you should, this is the time when you should die. Yeah, even my chart said, 1972, or, I mean, it said pretty early on. Yeah. And yeah, but it didn't happen. And one of my friends in Vrindavan, her chart said she was going to die 2004. And she didn't. Now she's 70 years old and still going strong. But she went back to the astrologer and said, "No, I didn't die. Now, what can I expect now?" And the astrologer said, "Can't tell you because you should have died. Now I don't know." So Krishna can change our destiny. That's one benefit of surrender. You get perks. You get perks when you surrender to Krishna. And another one is protection from fall down. And even if you do fall down, there's still protection. And Prabhupada gives the example of the deer. Bharat Maharaj became a deer. The deer remembered his previous life, and he came to the pilgrimage site where the sages were having katha, where they were talking about Krishna, and he stayed there. There was just an example right now in our temple in Amravati, or that's in Maharashtra. Amravati temple, just a few days ago, one wild, it's not a deer, it's a cow, blue cow. They have them in Govardhan. They have them in the jungles of India. A blue cow came into the temple, went up to the deities, took darshan of the deities, and then went to Prabhupada, took darshan of Prabhupada, then went out the door, out the gate of the temple, and left his body. That just happened. It's on the internet. ISKCON temple. Deer comes. And he didn't want to do it in the temple. It would not have been nice for the temple, for the deities, if he dies in the temple. He was respectful and went outside, or she it was, I think. And people said he also visited a Hanuman temple before ISKCON. So that's happening. And we just now we were in Ishrat, Ireland, Mangalarti time. There was a baby deer. For Mangalarti, it was jumping up and down outside the window. Baby deer, newly born, a few days old. And it was jumping and jumping for kirtan. So, yeah, our deer over there are actually very domesticated. They eat from your hand. It's all the deer in the forest of Inishrat, Ireland. Yes, we have an island, which is, away from the world. You have to come by boat to our island, and, there's no traffic on the island or anything. It's just deer, peacocks, and devotees, and the deities, Radhakum, the big ones. So yeah, the Lord can protect you. So we can understand, that these deer perhaps were fallen devotees. Past life, they did some offense, but they were born in the Dham. It's also a Dham. Wherever the deities are, it's a Dham. So they were saved from fall down. They fell down. And we can be protected from Maya. Prabhupada explains how, by chanting Hare Krishna. That's our protection. My godbrother Vishnu Jan Maharaj used to say, if you chant your 16 rounds, you have a protective shield around you from Maya. So yes, and also the next thing that happens if you surrender is you will get all good qualities. You'll get protected from your anarthas. Your anarthas will go away, and you will get good qualities because we already have good qualities. The soul is full of 50 good qualities. Minutely, Krishna has 64, we have 50 in small quantity. So that will develop. And then we'll get protection from sinful desires. Because in our heart, there are seeds of sinful desires from millions of births. So when we chant, we burn them. Or when we do devotional service, we burn up those seeds. Protection from death. Yeah, we already talked about that. That you will be protected from death. So everyone is sure to die. This is a purport 71029. Because no one is excused from the hands of death. But Prabhupada said, when you become a devotee, we're not destined to die according to our limited duration, according to our chart, astrology. It's not, we can go beyond if Krishna wants us to. So, yes, this can be avoided by the Lord's mercy, by Mother Mahan's mercy. So we have the example of Parikshit Maharaj. At the time, he was cursed to die some days. And he said, "Oh, Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul." So that was the first thing. He surrendered. Let Mother Ganges accept me in that way, for I've taken the lotus feet of the Lord in my heart. And let the snake bird bite me at once. I only desire you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. So he just wanted to hear kirtan and katha, Bhagavatam, and kirtan. Purport, Prabhupada says, as soon as one is given up completely unto lotus feet of the Lord, he's not afraid of death. He's not afraid. Even some people who are not devotees said, I'm not afraid of death. So one person came to Prabhupada and said, I'm not afraid of death. Prabhupada said, so when you cross the street, do you cross on the red light or do you cross on the green light? If you cross on the red light, you're not afraid of death. So that was Prabhupada's test for if you're not afraid of death. So, Parikshit, his last prayer was, offering obeisances to all you Brahmins, I pray, if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. So, which kind of person has this, which kind of devotee in this world has this mentality? It's the preacher. Preacher loves Krishna, associates with devotees, and he is very merciful to the innocent, tries to lift them up. So that was he wanted to be a preacher. He said, okay, if I have to come back, let me be a preacher. of your movement. And so, yeah, if we take protection of Krishna, we will go back to Godhead. Yeah, we will go to the eternal abode. So, in 1968, Srila Prabhupada was in Columbus, USA, Columbus, Ohio. And he was having a conversation with Allen Ginsberg, who was the lead poet of the hippies. But Allen was also a devotee. He would do kirtan every time he would have a reading. He would do kirtan, Hare Krishna kirtan, even before he met Prabhupada. So Prabhupada liked him. He liked Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was talking to Allen Ginsberg about how bad Kali Yuga is going to get. There would not be any trees or bushes or plants, nothing. All animals will be eating humans, and all people will be eating humans. They will eat each other. And fruits will be big seeds with a skin. So if you get a mango, you get the skin and the big seed, and that's it, no fruit. That will be the fruits end of Kali Yuga. And there will be nothing to eat, and what few devotees there were would live in caves. So Alan said, and your disciples, will they be in the caves? And Prabhupada said, my disciples will have gone back to Godhead by then. And Alan said, oh, really? Prabhupada said, yes. They are very advanced. They're going to go back very shortly. They are chanting. They're taking part in this process. They're becoming pure devotees in this lifetime. So that means also not only Prabhupada disciples, but the disciples of whoever follows Prabhupada will get this benediction. Alan said, oh, and what will happen to the rest of us? And Prabhupada leaned over to Alan. Alan leaned over to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, Alan, at the end of Kali Yuga, I will eat you, and you will eat me. To avoid this, you must go back to Godhead. And so Prabhupada gave us this opportunity by his sacrifice. He said, see the example of my life. I was retired in Vrindavan at 70 years old. I thought, no, I have to go. This has to be done. And my friend said, you're going to die. Sumati Maharaji, who gave him the boat ticket. And he said, never mind if death comes. Nobody did it. Let me try. So Prabhupada was not afraid of death. And one reporter asked Prabhupada, what does it mean to be liberated? Prabhupada said, liberation means to be fearless. So that is Prabhupada's definition. And he said, so activity is a symptom of love. We love Krishna, we want to do something for him. So we should always be under his protection, surrender to him, and Krishna will protect us. And I will leave you with one prayer, how to pray for protection and maintenance. This prayer is from His Holiness Sachinandan Swami, whom you all know very well over here. So Maharaj says, my Lord, when you have a problem, you go to Krishna, you say, my Lord, I cannot solve this alone. It is beyond my capability, intelligence, plans, ideas. I can't do it. I sincerely request you to accept me as your surrendered soul, protect and maintain me. Protection means, Krishna, please keep me in a situation where I can function and the problems of material existence don't upset my life that much. That's protection. Maintenance means maintain me on the spiritual platform. Because, materially things come and things go. But spiritually, we don't want it to go. Because that's what we take with us. Time of death, we can't take anything. I just saw a comic where the Lord of Death was standing with his big sword, and a man was coming with his luggage. And there was a huge pile of luggage, and he said, put it there. Can't take it with you. And he had put his luggage with the huge pile that everyone before him left. So it's better to try for spiritual progress if we have time. So we'll stop here. If you have any questions, comments, you can ask this time. Interesting. Any? Okay, here and then.
Thank you very much for lecturing. It's very enlightening. There's so many times, there's so many stories in which
So many what?
Stories.
Stories. Okay.
That we hear. There's one story about Tulsidas and one other Brahmana that met each other. The one was a Ram Bhakta and one was a
Krishna
Krishna Bhakta.
Bhakta. Stories. We're hearing stories now.
But the point of the story was that one of them became an elephant that was destroying anything, and the one climbed into a tree, and the other one just kept on walking. And then afterwards they said, "Why didn't you get into the tree?" And he said, "Well, Ram was going to protect me. Lord Ram protects me. I'm his devotee." And Krishna Bhakta, I can't remember his name, said, "I didn't want to ask Krishna for anything." So, but we're like, we can't do anything. So, how do we get that balance of praying and also not expecting anything?
Well, Srila Prabhupada did say we can pray for the health of our body to Lord Nrsingadev because it's not our body. This body belongs to Krishna and we're using it for Krishna. So we can pray for health of our body. We can pray for removal of obstacles from our path, but don't pray for all calamities to come like Queen Kunti. They will come. Calamities will come without our praying for them. We don't have to worry about that. And I know my god sister who did that prayer, and she breaks every bone in her body so far, almost. And every year it's, again the wrist, again the foot, whatever. It's always something she's breaking. And but she is, maybe she's on that level because she just, thank you, Krishna. So, but don't try for that. We may not be on that level to pray for calamities, but we can pray for health. We can pray for protection of the Guru, and we can pray for our protection. We can pray for it. But yes, and there is a purport where Prabhupada says the devotee, he doesn't pray, he just feels bad, he feels sorry. And then Krishna comes and helps him. He just feels kind of sorry. So that I guess if you feel depressed, that could be, yeah, like that. That's not good to feel depressed. But just say, "Oh Krishna, I give up. Help me, Krishna." So any other? Yes, you had a question in the back.
Thank you. Yeah, I was had a question about how much can I challenge in any way to trust to be protected? Because you brought the example of Prabhupada saying, well, if you're not afraid of death, then cross the street
in the red light. Yeah.
I mean, which would be really challenging.
Yeah.
Krishna, okay, let's see if you protect me. So,
yeah.
Okay, I don't dare to do anything because I don't want to challenge Krishna to show me if he's really protecting me. So,
Srila Prabhupada said you have to use your common sense. And if you don't have any, ask someone who has. Because, crossing the red light, we know we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't jump off a mountain and expect to be caught, like Prahlad. Prahlad could do it. We don't imitate the great devotees. We're not imitators. We're followers in their footsteps. What can we follow from Prahlad? Remembering Krishna. He's an example of remembering Smaranam. We can follow that example, remembering Krishna in all circumstances. But not like, well, he didn't jump off the mountain either. He was thrown. So he didn't even jump off. But anyway, yes. So yeah, common sense, really, in this case. You do need to, you're not, Okay, Krishna. It was so funny. My son, when he was 13, Govinda, he was up on the roof of a house, and he said, if Prabhupada told me to jump, I would. And I said to him, if Prabhupada told you to chant 16 rounds, would you do that? No. And so, yeah, we have to use our common sense. Yes, you know, uh, you know what you're not supposed to do in this world. The thing is, the problem is when difficulties come, we try to bang ourselves against doors that are closed. So if that happens, you keep banging your head. You have to find where the door is open. You have to find the opportunity. Where's the opportunity of what can I do in this difficulty? How can I, there's like some devotees are very sick and they can't do anything, and they think, oh, how can I serve? And they can't even chant or whatever. And so then there's a whole book written by by two of our devotees. When illness takes hold, what the devotee can do. Yeah, so it's a really nice book. It's basically attitude is everything. And what I find in my experience in my life is when you have a huge drama in your life or difficulties, you have to change your attitude. You have to think, okay, what am I doing? How is my attitude wrong? How do I need to change my attitude? And when you get it, then good. Then you're okay. You're happier. And so, yes. Any other question, Kalyani or comment?
Comment. I was just thinking of, I get that lady's question because sometimes, we expect that Krishna is going to work everything out for us. I think it's a difference between the cat and the monkey.
Okay.
The story.
Our cat and monkey philosophy. Sometimes we think Krishna is going to work everything out for us. But yeah, mercy is there. Prabhupada said it was in Boston, they asked Prabhupada, should we pray for a new Sankirtan van? And Prabhupada said, yes, you can pray, but your prayer endeavor has to go along with your prayer. Now I see actually on GoFundMe and Facebook, the Guru Coolies, they travel all over America and even Mexico, and their huge bus broke down in New York. And it was already, they knew they needed one. And so there they go collecting on GoFundMe for that. And I think that is the default medical solution for devotees. What I see nowadays, devotees who don't have money who don't have a medical system. I think here it might be free. I don't know. No. It's in UK. It's free, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
UK and Ireland and UK. It's free. But in America, no. Yeah, they do have Medicaid, but it's anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good comment. You have a question? Okay.
I'm from Ukraine.
You're from Ukraine.
I'm from Ukraine. I'm very thankful that I'm here.
You're happy to be here. Okay.
Such a difficult question because I'm emotional. Now we have a war in Ukraine.
Now you have a war in Ukraine.
And my hometown in occupation 3 years.
Your hometown is occupied
It's occupied
by Russians
yes.
for 3 years.
And my grandmother and grandfather live here.
Your mother and father live here.
Is there
What?
Town. My mother and father live in that town.
Oh, they live there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I afraid that I couldn't see them.
You're afraid you can't go back and see.
Not ever see them.
You'll not ever see them.
Yes, and I believe that Krishna can protect them and me and my mom, but sometimes I feel very emotional flow, and I try think I couldn't see them, and I don't know how more good prayer is there.
What's a good prayer?
How to pray, but
How to pray? So your mother and father are there. You're afraid you'll never see them again. How should you pray? Okay. Well, Prabhupada gave us a way to pray for others and for himself also. Prabhupada was very sick. I think I was in 1974, before he left, 3 years before he left, he told us how to pray for him, for his protection. So he said, we can say to Krishna, my dear Lord, if you so desire, please protect Srila Prabhupada or something. Please protect, please save, something like that. Please protect Prabhupada. So you can say, my dear Lord, if you so desire, please protect my parents. And you can make a personal prayer. You can say that first. You go and tell them this prayer. And then you can go to the deities, tell them how you feel. Tell them all your emotions. This is how I feel. And I'm very afraid, and all these things. You should say everything to the deities, how you feel. And then you can wait for an answer. You tell them all how you're feeling, and then, yeah, we do have an exercise you can do. Also, you say this prayer. I do this exercise in seminars sometimes. You say this, you go to the deities, you say your problem, you say the prayer, and then you go to the deity's place, and you're standing with the deities, and you're thinking, what is the deity saying to me? And it really works. I had this one devotee in Australia, and he was praying to Gorni Tai. He was saying, nobody comes out on Harinam Sankirtan with me. I'm all by myself. And then he heard the deities saying, you don't see us? We're with you out there. And he became one of those Harinam Ruchi, one of the leaders of Harinam Ruchi, who travels with Harinam all over the world. So it's good exercise. And you may get it right away, but it may take time for the answer to come. But you can say that prayer for them. You can also, one thing devotees do for their kids. You don't have kids, right? No children? Not married? Okay, we do this for our children sometimes. We chant extra rounds and we donate them to the kids. So this is because they're not chanting. And so we give extra round on Akadashi, especially powerful. You can do that, Hare Krishna. You can do that on Akadashi. And yeah. So yeah, you can pray. Pray for your parents like that. So you're not forcing Krishna. You're saying, if you so desire, please. But he will protect them anyway. Hare Krishna. Okay, any other? Oh, we have 1 minute left before 9 o'clock. I heard 9 o'clock is prasadam. Yes? You have a question? No, you just came. Okay, I will stop here. I'll go to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. All right.